Hello and welcome to video number 20. This is me learning how to use the Elektron Octatrack Mk.II and passing on to you all my tips and tricks as I do so. And I have to tell you, this is the third attempt I've made at doing this video because I've had a few problems with my Octatrack. And long story short, the other day I did a video on one of EZBOT's templates, a little riser thing that I built from his video. Subsequently, I decided to become a Patreon of EZBOT, and I now have his hybrid template installed on my Octatrack. Having said that, I've had a bit of a problem with this. I keep getting crashes and things going wrong with it. It's probably user error. I'm not blaming EZBOT for this, but I'm having a bit of a problem. One thing I did find is when you drop the folder into the Octatrack folder on your computer, make sure you just drop just that folder and nothing else, because I found sometimes when you do that and you think it's in, it looks like it's in on the file menu, and you go to your Octatrack and it's not there. So anyway, I've reinstalled it. It all appears to be working, so we'll hope for the best. But I really wish that Elektron would sort this out for the Octatrack, because it's a real pain. With my lovely Mk.II, I use the transfer program and that works brilliantly. With the Octatrack, it's the old way of doing the, project, system, USB disk mode thing, and that is a nightmare because the Octatrack won't seem to quit from the computer, and that causes all manner of problems. Anyway, rant over, let's get on with the video. Now, with this hybrid template, it's a combination of the performance mixer and the hyper effects. Now, the hyper effects are on 9/16, and the performance mixer is on 1/8. So I'm going to concentrate on that because that's more my kind of thing. I'm not so much into the sort of glitchy, noisy stuff, but I'll probably get to that in another video. So basically, I've got this pattern on my Mk.II, which is called Dissolver, which I really like. I'm going to use that. I've turned the tempo down to 94, but if I go to another bank, if I go to bank B, for instance, pattern 1, you see it's jumped to 120 because it's all set for 120, but I've just turned this down to 94. So go back to bank 1, bank A rather, and pattern 1 has gone back to 94. Now you'll see that in track 1 we have a through track and 2 neighbour tracks on 2 and 3 respectively. That's for my OPXY, which is giving me drum sounds. So that's plugged into A and B. If I press source for track 1, you'll see it's in AB. So my OPXY is in A and B, inputs A and B. If I press track 5, you'll see it's inputs C and D, and that's from my Mk.II, which is giving me melodic content. So if I go to the mixer, I'm just going to turn off track 4 for a minute. Now, because I've got neighbour tracks, tracks 3 and 7, come out of this for a minute, are the lowest neighbour tracks for their 2 respective tracks. So it's those that you want to use for muting and unmuting. So if I press play, and I press 3, that's got rid of the drums on the OPXY, and 7 gets rid of the melodic content on the Mk.II. So both tracks are running, and that's fine. Now, if you want to use any of the effects, it's very simple. They're in 4 kind of blocks. If you hold part, you'll see 1 is space, 2 is build, 3 is crush, and 4 is party, the 4 kind of types of effects. I'm not going to go through them all. I'm certainly not going to show you how to build them because obviously you need to buy these templates for yourself. There's 2 ways of getting them, by the way. You can either buy them outright from EZBOT, or you can subscribe to his Patreon and then you get them as part of the deal. There's various levels of membership and it's up to you to decide which one you want, but anyway, I've got this this template and it's really good. Right, so I'm going to start off, I'm just going to show you a few in part 1, which is the space block, and press play. I'm on 1, so go over. This is what we call hallway riser. Very reverby, very nice. Now 2, This is called space return. These often build up over 4 bars. And there's 2 versions of this template. There's a 4 bar and an 8 bar. So with the 8 bar, obviously it takes 8 bars for the effects to build. 4 bar only takes 4. I think I've got the 4 here. So now I'm going to use 3, which is this half note filtered loop. So 2 beats. Circa riser. So it's working on both the external instruments. 5 is space drummer. And so on. There's a couple of nice filters up here. 9 is a high pass filter. 10 is a low pass. So you can come out that in degrees. We often forget, don't we, about the halfway settings of the crossfader. They're very useful as well. And how you get that transition. Don't have to always snap it backwards and forwards. So 13 is acid delay plus noise ripper riser. Let's try this one then. Great fun, aren't they? And that riser effect is on track 8. That's the sample that's used for the riser. So that's a few out of part 1. Let's try 2, which is the build-up effects. So we'll go back to 1. So this is chorus riser. Very nice. Two is big stereo riser that the 4 bars go through. Here we go. They're very effective. I've stopped the machine, but it's still going, isn't it? And obviously, you need to go through them yourself, see which ones you like. Obviously, you can move from one to the other very, very quickly. Now, you might get something going and you think, well, I want to make a sample of this, I want to record this. And this is where you use track 4. Track 4 is your kind of recording track. Go over that once again. Track 1 is for inputs A and B. Track 5 is for inputs C and D. Tracks 2 and 3 are neighbour tracks for track 1. Tracks 6 and 7 are neighbour tracks for track 5. And obviously EZBOT has programmed loads of things in so that they work with those tracks. So I personally wouldn't alter this, I would copy it and do your own version probably. Track 8 has got the, like I say, the riser in it. So track 4 is your friend when you want to record. You don't have to have it on at the moment. If you look in the mixer, it's muted. So let's get something going we like here. Let's go back to part 1 and we'll get what should we do? This high pass filter. That's quite nice, isn't it? So I want to record this as a 4-bar sample. Now this is an 8-bar pattern, this dissolver, so let's record the second half of the bar, and to do that I have to press yes somewhere in the first 4 bars. So I'm on track 4. If you go to the amp, you see it's turned down, and we'll turn it up in a moment, but let's just get this going. So I'm going to press yes. Now at the end of the 4 bars you'll see track 4 going to record. You get the plus signal come up. Now we're recording 4 bars and it will cut out after 4 bars. So that's done. If I go to the mixer and turn off tracks 3 and 7, we don't hear anything because track 4 is turned off. It's press play, still nothing, because if you look, the volume is turned down. Turn it up. Now you can hear we've not got the crossfader over in the B position. We've got that effect that we used printed on this sample. There it is. And of course we could save that and use that in other flex tracks or static tracks. So I've actually made a sample from having the crossfader moved over. That's the second half of the pattern, isn't it? Now we go to the mixer. Now tracks 3 and 7, or tracks 1 and 5 if you like, that's the live playback of my 2 machines. If I turn my OPXY down, see, that's got rid of the drums. If I turn my digatone down, that's all the melodic concept gone. So that's the live playback, and track 4 is that recording. See, it's pretty clever, isn't it? And of course I could save that. I'm not going to bother for the moment, but I could save it and use it in other tracks subsequently. And don't forget, muting tracks, you can just hold function and the track. You don't have to go into the mixer. I tend to do that. I don't know why. It's something I've got in the habit of doing. EZBOT set up a freeze delay on this. So if we just go back to our mixer, turn off track 4, turn on tracks 3 and 7. You need to make sure that you're on the delay control page by holding function and down arrow. Now 9 will be for track 1 and 13 will be for track 5. Okay, T1, T5. So I'm on the 1-2 ratio. I'm going to hold 7 and 9. Maybe this is the drums. 13 will be for the melodic content. Change over to the 1-3 ratio. Melodic. And also the freeze delay works on the recorded track. I've got to use trig 12, but I've got to set it up on track 4. So I'm going to come out of mixer, go to track 4, come over to the delay, FX2, and I'm going to turn the tape off, make sure it's off, lock on, I'm going to turn up the feedback all the way, send all the way. Now I can use the freeze delay on track 4. Which is 12, of course. Don't forget that the freeze delay doesn't work with the mixer in focus. You've got to have this page with the green lights. If you just have a look at what you've got here, on track 1, effects wise, you've got the DJ equalizer and the delay. On the neighbour track, you've got a filter and a delay. And on the second neighbour track, for this, in my case, the drums, I've got a phaser and a dark reverb. With track 5, on the main track, I've got DJ equalizer and delay. Track 6, I've got filter and delay. Track 7, the other neighbour track, I've got chorus and dark reverb. I wouldn't alter those because obviously they are geared for EZBOT's effects. Again, maybe copy this and change it for your own uses. Now one thing confused me a bit, and I'm glad sorted this out, but I think I have. Let's go to just a normal reverb. Okay, that's fine. Now all these are normal effects, but if you hold B and 16, you get nothing, and that's because this is for a looper effect. And what this does, it records 4 bars of both tracks. It's for live looping both A and B and C and D inputs. So to do this, you have to have track 4 in focus, which we've got. Okay, it's muted, that's fine. With this effect on 16, B 16, all you've got to do now is press the yes key at some point to record the next 4 bars of both inputs. Well, let's just do the recording first of all. So let's come out of this. So everything's running fine. I'm going to press yes. It's going to record as we get to the next set of 4 bars. Coming up now. Here she goes. Plus sign. Good, that's done. Now if I go into the mixer, turn off 3 and 7 and come over. Now you can't hear it at the moment because track 4 is muted. Now this is that second half of that pattern. This is the normal live playback. Now if I go over to B, you can hear this is my 4 bars I recorded. This is my live loop. Put 3 and 7 on. Now you can hear some smearing there because I've got track 4 on still. Now I haven't really gone into this, maybe I can add extra loops to that, I'm not sure about that. That's why track 16 is silent, because it's for live looping the inputs A, B and C, D. I'm pretty sure you can do freeze delay on this as well. Which is on 12 because this is track 4. It's pretty versatile. I mean, the effects are amazing. There's loads of them, and of course you can jump from one to the other. Just hold the B button down, jump to whichever ones you want, and try the different parts. Like I say, I haven't gone to the hyper effects. I suppose I could try a couple of those while I've got this video on. So you need to go to Bank and 9 and pattern 1. Now you see it says hyper. Let's see what we've actually got here. Right, it's gone to 120. I'll leave it like that. So here's the sort of thing. Pretty wild, aren't they? That's a nice one, like that one. Pretty crazy. Part 2 is corpo. Not quite sure what that means, but we'll go to it. So that's corpo, yes. Yeah, I mean, they're great. Might not be quite my thing, but it might be yours. They're very well done, very well programmed, of course. I'll explore those at my leisure and let you know if I come up with anything in there that I personally will use. So just to be clear here, so A to H, you've got the same thing. Okay, these are all the performance effects. And I to P are the hyper effects, all in one template, which is pretty useful, isn't it? And I tend to go Bank A, pattern 1, and then I'm back to my tempo I set in pattern 1, which is 94 because the default is 120. Yeah, so a lot of chat there. I'm glad I've actually managed to make this video. Hopefully sometime this week I'll be picking up a Digitact 2 to go with my Digitone 2. Then I will have the perfect setup, the Octatrack Mk.II, the Digitone Mk.II and the Digitact Mk.II. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, hope you got something out of it. If you did, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you very much for watching, and you'll see me in my next video.